Ladies and gents, hold onto your history hats and gear up for a rollercoaster ride through time. We're in Germany, after the Great War, when the country had just taken a trip to the School of Hard Knocks. Imagine being a country with potential bigger than a Beethoven symphony but stuck in a solo that's flatter than a pancake. Yeah, that was Germany. But here's the kicker. From 1933 to 1941, Germany revved up from zero to hero, assembling an army so formidable it sent shivers down Europe's spine. By the end of 1941, our German friends had practically doodled their name on the face of Europe. They even had their binoculars focused on Moscow. Everybody had their popcorn ready for a German victory party. But, how the heck did they manage to pull that off? Was it their super-duper efficient army? Sound planning? Luck? Or did they discover some magical, war-winning pretzels? Let's dive into it. Post-World War I, Germany was a hot mess. But the rise of the Third Reich. That's like the dramatic second act of a movie where the underdog team gets a new coach. Now, before our team got their new coach, they were kinda directionless, thanks to this thing called the Weimar Republic. Post the First World War, the public was so fed up with Kaiser Wilhelm II that it was possible, he was forced to abdicate. The Weimar Republic was established with Friedrich Ebert as the president. Here's the thing though. Life under Ebert wasn't exactly a walk in the park. The Treaty of Versailles, signed during Ebert's time, basically reduced the German military to a shadow of itself, saddled Germany with war reparations and took away a chunk of its territory. It was the equivalent of someone stealing your lunch, making you pay for it, and then giving you detention. Talk about a buzzkill. Enter stage right, our charismatic villain, Adolf Hitler. As economic depression spread, Hitler's party, which once seemed as popular as broccoli at a candy store, suddenly became a beacon of hope. Afraid that the communists would take over, Germans said Auf Wiedersehen to the Weimar Republic and Hallo to Hitler and his team. And in 1933, our main man Adolf was elected Chancellor. Time for some serious changes, folks. The first few weeks of Hitler's reign was like a dramatic makeover montage in a rom-com. Hitler came in with a plan, folks, and it was about as subtle as a bull in a china shop. But hey, it worked. He consolidated his power, rebuilt the army, and started eyeing German-speaking territories with a blend of diplomacy, influence, and military might. Our man Adolf went full steam ahead and established the Wehrmacht, the unified military of the Third Reich. It was like going from a bicycle to a fancy sports car. The Wehrmacht was a far cry from the diminished military allowed by the Treaty of Versailles. It was bigger, badder, and made Hitler the ultimate authority of the armed forces. Despite some resistance from commanders, the German army was able to reoccupy the Rhineland, a region crucial for the upcoming war efforts. The annexation of Austria, the Sudetenland, and Czechoslovakia was like hitting the jackpot for the German economy. The Allies' strategy of appeasement, instead of causing trouble, only seemed to prove Hitler right. Hitler's approval rating skyrocketed. It was like he was the rock star of the political world, and any opposition was silenced faster than you can say, sauerkraut. Hitler had the German people wrapped around his little finger. The military, after seeing his successful territorial grabs, were more than ready to march to his beat. And boy, did the Blitzkrieg work. It was like a well-choreographed dance that left the enemy standing on the sidelines. The strategy was used effectively in Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, France, Yugoslavia, and Greece. It was a stunning combination of old-school tactics and new-age technology. The Blitzkrieg was simple but effective. The Germans would spot a weak point in their opponent's defense, charge through, and run amok, causing chaos and disorganization. As the enemy struggled to regain control, the Germans would continue to widen the gap and prevent the enemy from filling it. It was like a well-coordinated game of chess where the Germans were always several steps ahead. But the Blitzkrieg wasn't foolproof. When Germany launched Operation Barbarossa to occupy the western portion of the Soviet Union, they hit a snag. The Blitzkrieg worked initially, but the sheer size of the USSR, the brutal winter, and better defense lines created by the Soviets turned the tables. Germany lost its surprise factor and momentum, and was now battling a heavily populated country with high production capabilities and support from allies. So, why was the German army so effective in World War II? It was a combination of Hitler's planning and fanaticism, rearmament and war material production, territorial expansion, military strategies, and quite frankly, the mistakes of their opponents. While Germany ultimately lost the war, their initial success can be attributed to these factors. But don't worry folks, we'll break it down in future videos. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications.